Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David and this is a deck review. Hey, today we're going to look at the new 2018 Arco playing cards release from Will Roya and playingcarddex.com. I don't know if you know this, but Arco playing cards are highly sought after by magicians and gamers as well, because they just have a very unique history. They're collectible because they've always kind of had a limited availability. Arco playing cards were first printed by Arco playing cards back in Chicago, Illinois. They were first named the Arco playing card company back in the 20s and 30s. Arco was bought by Bicycle in 1987, and the last time it was printed was in 2011. And I bought a bunch of those. They came in all these different colors. There was like black and green and whatnot. And it was a nice set to have, but I've never really taken them out of the box because they are a smooth finish. If you look at the Jokers, they say plastic coated, and the cards are really slick. And I just love air cushion finish. Like, I just love air cushion emboss, and so that's my go-to. And so Arco didn't have that, so they've never been one of my favorite decks. And so Will Roya released the Arco this edition on Kickstarter, and when I saw it pop up, I was like, Arco cards. I bought the last reprint. I don't need to buy this reprint. I mean, he only had red and blue, and I was like, I already got those in my collection. I don't need another Arco reprint. But when I took a look at the campaign that he was doing, I'd quickly changed my mind. Will Roya got special permission from the United States Playing Card Company to print these again in 2018, and they were a limited run of only 2,500 decks. Now, why is this different? Well, number one, they have air cushion finish. They have air cushion finish, and they're done with the new Q1 quality controls. So that right there, I'm dialed in. I'm paying attention now. Like, okay, tell me a little bit more about these. Well, there's actually a lot of other new bells and whistles, and we'll get all into it as we start this review. The tuck case is going to look exactly like you'd expect. It says Arco across the front. It says playing cards underneath that. One side says the United States Playing Card Company, made in the USA, and the other side says traditional cut, embossed finish. That's never happened before with an Arco deck. That's right. Not only do they have air cushion emboss, but they are traditionally cut, which a lot of magicians like that do gambling routines. They prefer that. The back design, of course, is that classic Arco back design, and the bottom has some ad copy about playingcarddex.com. The top says poker size 501. Why does it say 501? It says 501 because originally there was a 3 numeric moniker attributed to every single Bicycle deck. That's why you call Bicycle rider backs 808s. Okay, if you should, if you don't. I mean, that's how people know it's the rider back, it's the 808s. And it was because right here on the UPC, now these don't have the UPC on them. On the UPC ended in 808. And so the UPC on this deck ended in 501. Standard tuck seal, and it has some more ad copy there on the large tuck flap. And then on the small tiny tongue flaps, here's another cool thing. There's a card reveal. That's right, there's a card reveal. On the red deck, there is a reveal of the Jack of Clubs. And on the blue deck, there is a reveal of the Ace of Hearts. And let me just say, I would get the red and blue deck together. I would not get one or the other. And the more we go into this review, you'll see why. But the first of which is, there's really cool. The blue deck has a red seal, and the red deck has a blue seal. Not to be confused with classic blue seal decks. Now, in a normal deck review, I would go on and describe the back design or maybe the court cards. So it's going to be kind of weird to say, these Arco cards have Arco courts. Duh. Or this Arco deck has an Arco back. Obviously. So those of you who are already familiar with the Arco design, I mean, it's going to be completely the same. There's not going to be anything new as far as that goes. So you have that beautiful, rich Arco back that I think a lot of people have just grown to love over the years, and it's just awesome. Your Ace of Spades, it's your traditional ace, has the A in the middle of a center pip, and then it has all the different suits kind of dancing around it. It says the US Playing Card Company, made in the USA. All your pips and indice cards are going to be Arco standard and instantly recognizable, making this deck perfect for gameplay. And of course, your courts are Arco courts. right? They're Arco quartz. Nothing new. I don't think there's any bells or whistles inside of them that I hadn't seen before. And you'll get your 2 standard Arco jokers. Now, interestingly enough, the jokers on the original Arco deck, it said plastic coated in red across the jester's cap. These still do, because let's face it, let's keep them looking exactly the same. Let's not change it. However, this deck is not plastic coated. Please do not ask me in the comments if this deck is plastic. It's not plastic coated, and it's not smooth finish, okay? These are what you'd expect from a Q1 standard deck from Bicycle. All right, so we've mentioned it has air cushion finish. We've mentioned it has traditional cut. We've mentioned that there is a card reveal on the tiny tuck flaps. Is there anything else? Yes, there's Gaff cards. Inside the red deck, you're gonna get a double backer, which is red on both sides, and a Arco double facer. Why is that cool? Well, because a lot of times the double facer that we get are standards and they wouldn't fit inside of an Arco deck. But this is an Arco double facer, which I have never seen before. And then you would ask, well, if I get the blue deck, am I gonna get the same gas? No, this is why you need both. This is why you need both, because you need all 4 gas. In the blue deck, you're gonna get a blue card with a blank face, and you'll get a double backer that has both colors, red and blue, which would be great for a color changing deck routine. But that's just how the cards look. You also want to know how they feel and handle. What I do is I take 10 of these cards and I stick them in a caliper and I measure them and compare them against other decks in my collection. 10 of these cards in the caliper comes to 2.91. 2.91 is thick premium stock. It is. I consider anything over 2.9 to be definitely in the zone as being premium stock. Now, the ad copy says classic, which means the ad copy thinks that originally they were gonna be printed thin. Problem with that is there's no good standards done at Bicycle as far as their thickness, and so it's a crapshoot sometimes. And I will say these cards definitely feel thin in my hands, and I was fully expecting them to be measured thin. I was shocked because it feels thin. They feel nice and thin. They feel springy. They feel like a thin deck would. But when I measure that, every single time, and I measured it more than once. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting a false reading. I always kind of measure more than once just to see, you know, what's what. And every single time I measured it, it came over 2.9. So this is definitely premium stock. In your hands, they're going to feel the same as the WTF Cardistry deck, the Revolvers deck, and get this, they're the same thickness as the Richard Turner Gold Standard deck. Now, if you ever had the Richard Turner Gold Standard deck, you'd know that he prints these on B stock. He prints them on casino stock. So that if they're the same thickness as the Richard Turners, then yes, they are casino stock. But I think they have an outstanding look, terrific feel, and great handling. This is a true worker's deck for both the cardist and magician. And I think if you're a collector of Bicycle cards, you're gonna wanna pick these up. Now, I said it was a limited edition reprint, right, of 2,500. Over half these decks were already sold during the Kickstarter campaign. So if you want these, I would definitely head down to playingcarddex.com and buy your set today. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.